G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back of course to the Time Bomb channel, and I hope you lovely people are good and all is good in your part of the world. Watch review of the Mondaine Classic 40mm new release. Get ready for this wrist ref number. It is the A660.30360.81SBJ. They really do need to do better on these reference numbers, don't they? This one has been lent into the channel by the lovely people over at First Class Watches. Do hit them up, give them a shout if you're interested in this watch or any other, and please do mention the Time Bomb channel so they know where you've come from. Let me just pause and zoom in a fraction. So, as I mentioned just a second ago, this is a new release. And you may recall I reviewed a black version of one of these last year, and I liked it a lot, and kind of surprised me because it's not really the kind of watch that I would normally gravitate towards. But I think the clear legibility and the element of railway fun kind of tickles my tickly bits. The Swiss aspect on these, though, I find a bit of a black hole. It's kind of like eating Swiss cheese, but only nibbling on it to make the holes bigger. I personally wouldn't buy one of these because of the Swissness. I'd buy one of these because of the way it looks on wrist, and as I say, how much fun it is. Just before I throw it on wrist, then it's 40 mils across. You had a couple of mils there for your crown. It's a very manageable 7.5 mil deep, sitting on 20 mil lugs, and it weighs just 105 grams heavy on this bracelet. Let me just chuck it on wrist so you can see what it looks like. Sadly though, they only come with 50 meters worth of watery sort of proof, which is not great. Might be enough for some people, but personally I prefer mine with a little bit more. But my wrist is 7.25 inch for reference, and as you can see, size wise, it's absolutely brilliant because of the very low profile as well. It really does hug the wrist so very well, so much better than many other watches which have those low underhanging bellies underneath. This one completely the opposite. But yeah, next thing I wanted to say is that they retail for around, £209, £299 in the UK. But again, check with First Class Watches for pricing on these, because I think they've got an automatic 15% discount on these. Onto the dial, zoom in a fraction, and yeah, that silver sunray dial, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. It dominates the watch. It's much braver than their other colors, which have been blacks and blues and greens. This one, yeah, it's continually picking up light wherever you're going with it. I did, when I did that a previous review, looked at the Mondaine sort of relationship with the railway clocks again, so I'm not going to bore you with that this time. But you can clearly see that the obviously with the retained logo definitions and lollipop second-hand, reverse lollipop second-hand there, that train DNA is still running through this new release. Quartz, as you'd expect, buzzing away inside. It's a Ronda 513 RL. The Mondaine website suggests you're going to get around 2 years worth of battery life out of that. It's not brilliant, but probably because those hands are quite large, and so that's going to suck up a lot of power getting those things to move around that dial. You've then got a 3-link, fingerprints. You've got a 3-link steel on here, and I'm pretty sure these are hollow links because of the way that they feel. It's quite light. I was hoping for something a little bit more robust. It's a fraction jingly as well, but again, nothing that I think most people are going to have an issue with. Inside, then you've got push pins as well, so again, follow the arrows when sizing. I think though that what I was going to say around this is that because of that silver dial, I mean, on the silver bracelet, it looks brilliant, but I think it's going to equally match some other colors, like a brown leather. I think strap would look very good on these as well. You then got the signed crown there over with that little flash of color, the flash of red, which again reflected onto the dial. And the connection is, it's quite small, but I've got large fingers. Yeah, the action there is pretty good, nice and clean, no herky jerky. Yeah, feels nice. pops back in nice and pleasantly. Sadly, there's no loom on these. I think it could probably warrant just a little bit somewhere. Again, I just think it would, give the watch a little bit more versatility. Out in the sunlight, though, the watch does something strange. The sunlight this month is a rarity here in the UK, but notice that the silver dial becomes almost white outside, and the bezel then sort of almost takes on, sort of a black. So it changes the personality of the watch radically. So again, just bear that in mind. If you think this is going to be silver all the time in different lights, it is going to look very different. In conclusion, I really do wish that they could improve on the water resistance. As I say, I think it would just make these things a lot more versatile. But again, the thing that I like about Mondaine watches is that there's something a little bit more different, interesting at the fashion end of the watch world. And it's kind of one of those watches that your wife and daughter are probably going to like. And if you're a watch nutter suffering with watch acquisition syndrome, we all kind of need these kind of watches as well in our collections. Massive thanks again to the lovely people over at First Class for the loan of this one. And again, interesting new release from Mondaine. Thanks to you guys for your time and for your view. And we'll catch you all in the next watch vid. Cheers now.